And this tells the real story. This is how much better he played the last lap than I did. 225 watts of average power compared to my 298 watts of average power. The normalized power tells the same story. It's about an 80 watt difference. Look, if you want to learn how to save energy and have that extra pop in the sprint finish, take a look at what Timmy does. Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another weekly Alviso criterion. We have a windy one today. I want you to pay attention to those blue arrows in the bottom right-hand corner. The wind is in the opposite direction, and it was quite strong. I think it was close to 10 miles an hour, gusting even higher. And that means this backside of the course, which is generally a headwind and pretty neutral, is a place for attacks. And here goes one on the front into the tailwind, and immediately you can see the damage behind. That's Blaine back there. He'll close that down. Actually, it's a good opportunity to talk about the competition here. We have Blaine from Thirsty Bear behind. Always a strong breakaway rider, always a strong contingent out here at Alviso. And then in front of me in the pink jersey, that is Donnie Ice on Tayroon. There are a handful of other riders to look out for, but I am up here towards the front in good company. This guy, I forgot his name, who is on the front attacking. Sending it again. We were just in the crosswind, back on into the tailwind section here. New pavement at Alviso, guys. So we're up over 30 miles an hour, and Donnie's just going to pour on the pressure. I'm in this draft doing 400 watts. We're going fast. It doesn't look it, but trust me, this is a pretty hard effort. And when Donnie flicks me through, it's my turn to take a pull. I happily oblige. Just continue pouring on the pressure. Because look, guys, I am looking back, and I am realizing, look at all these little gaps opening up. Look at the devastation behind. This is exactly what I want. It's a hard effort, but everyone's hurting behind in this tail and this crosswind. And by the time we make it into the headwind section here, I mean, look at the rear camera. I mean, riders checking back, riders dropping off, and already we're only a couple laps into this race. Maybe a bit more, three or four laps into this race. But pretty early on, the field is completely destroyed. That brings us into already a group of like, what is this, 5 or 6 riders selection at the front, which bodes well for me as a sprinter. I've made this front group. Let's see how it shakes out. So actually, the next couple laps were pretty chill. In fact, a little bit too chill. A few more riders jumped across that gap, and I liked it better with 5 or 6. So I'm just going to continue on the pressure here. I saw a moment where I had an opportunity to put in this dig. Riders are getting a little sloppy, letting gaps open up, but not Timmy in the rear cam. We'll talk more about Timmy here in a little bit. And I just wanted to see if I could shed a couple of riders who had just bridged across. Look, guys, if you have a breakaway and riders bridge across, they're going to be tired. Trust me, they're going to be tired. So if you don't like that they're in the breakaway with you, just put in a little feeler attack like this and see, because that might just be, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, and that might drop them from their bridge effort. Not the nicest thing to do, but it's a race, right? They're the competition. So that was my intention here. Timmy's just going to roll a turn. Timmy looking strong these days. Unfortunately, though, wasn't able to drop the rest of the group. You see Donnie here in the rear camera. The other notables have made it back across, but the good news is we're back to that composition of 5 or 6. And, you know, 5 or 6 is cool, but, you know, it's even cooler is a breakaway of like 1 or 2. So I'm going to send it again, and keep in mind where I'm putting in this attack. This is in the tailwind section. This is the reverse section. This is what we talked about earlier. This part of the course became very consequential. Tailwind here, you can get a gap, and then you come into this crosswind. Instead of the typical left to right, it's a right to left. So it's just a hard effort. And again, Timmy looking so strong. Timmy thinking the same idea. He's checking back right there. We have a bit of a gap. Going to continue on the pressure. This is why this section's devastating, is now you make a left and you're back into the tailwind section. It's just really hard to match efforts in this situation. And if you can carry a gap back into the start-finish straight, the headwind section, people are much less inclined to chase in a headwind. So that's really the idea here. Unfortunately, if we fast forward a little bit, you'll see it didn't work out, wasn't able to shake those riders, did a little bit of damage, but it didn't have the desired effect. And that brings us into the last lap. Well, just outside of a lap to go, and I'm in this uncomfortable, awkward position on the front. I'm doing 16 miles an hour, doing 100 watts, because I don't want to just be towing, especially in the headwind here. I don't want to be towing the field around. I'm trying to save my legs for the final 200 meters. That's my jam. That's generally how I win races, is from a sprint. I was trying to do it from a reduced group, and it kind of worked out. I mean, we're at 5 or 6 riders, like I said, but this is when a rider rolls away like this and everyone watches. This is why you don't want to be stuck on the front. So Yeah, I mean, I jump across. I just want to nip this one in the bud, but you don't want to be doing over 1,000 watts into a headwind, you know, coming into 1 lap to go. This is 3 kilometers to go because these are my sprint legs. And, you know, Donnie's going to counter. I have to follow that one. I can't let Donnie go. Shout out Donnie, by the way. I did 130 miles the day before. This dude is still riding so strong. But anyway, that's us riding through the finish line for the last time before the one that counts, the last lap. So here we are. I need to position myself much better. You don't want to be on the front on the last lap like this. I'm getting a decent draft here, but in a headwind like this, the draft is a lot better further back. And I want you guys to pay close attention to this last lap here. 2 things. 1, how badly I played it, and then 2, how well Timmy played it. If we go back to that chase back effort I did into the headwind, you'll notice something, that Timmy was patient. He was cool, calm, collected. He sat back in the draft in the headwind section while I was trying to be a hero and chase everything back, and he was saving energy. That was the smart move. Again, I'm stuck on the front. You know what this reminds me of, guys? If you missed where Will came out, we had a pro come out to Alviso. That was the last time I raced Alviso. Check that video out. I'm basically Will in this situation. Not that I'm as fast as Will, but I'm just stuck on the front, kind of making the same mistakes, falling into the same traps that Will was, thinking you could kind of do it all. And I'm paying for it now. Like I should just be like actually on brakes, falling back, because I just don't want to be on the front. You have to deal with attacks. Speaking of which, here goes Blaine with an absolute haymaker into that tailwind section that we talked about. This is a really well-timed attack, and man, I'm kind of losing that snap already a little bit. We're over 30 miles an hour. Devastating attack by Blaine, and this is his move. Like half a lap to go, 2Ks. So he's so dangerous. He's won Alviso from this distance, so I can't just let it go. I didn't feel like I could hesitate either and let somebody else chase it back, because I mean, that's how these work, is the hesitation. Everyone kind of looks at each other. So I decided to follow him. And again, if we look back in the rear camera, guess who we are not seeing? And that is Timmy. He's playing it cool. He's back in the draft. He's enjoying the benefit of these other riders chasing Blaine and I back. And I'm going to pay for him. 170 beats per minute. I'm still not quite on the wheel either. Blaine's kind of giving it up here. But here we are, last lap. Now Blaine's officially giving it up. And we're all together, but man, I just burned a couple of matches. Again, stuck on the front. It's so funny how similar this is to the situation Will was in the last video. I won't spoil that one for you any more than I already have, but I'm also making another mistake here, which is kind of funny. I was on the right-hand side of the road just out of habit, because this is generally a left-to-right crosswind. Today, it's a right-to-left. And, yeah, so I'm going to be on the left-hand side of the road. That way, in case an attack goes, it's going to go on my right-hand side, and then I can more quickly get into the draft. That's the idea here. Plus, I don't have to look over my left-hand shoulder, because people aren't going to attack across the double yellow line. At least you're not supposed to. But, again, stuck on the front, this is less than ideal. I really don't want to be on the front in this position. But here we go. This is the final 650 meters. The race is going to be over here shortly. It's important, guys, when you're sprinting into a headwind, to be patient. And if you try to go at the normal 200 meters to go or whatever, you're going to have a bad time, because you have to keep in mind you're going to be going much slower. And again, I'm chasing back an attack. I mean, I saw it going, so I responded to it quickly, but I should just be letting some other people bring that back, and I should just be playing the game a little bit better, because now 350 meters on the front, this is a horrible place to be. Here goes Blaine one more time, and at this point I'm just committed. I'm using my sprint right now to chase Blaine back. Honestly, I thought Blaine was going to win it, but I'm going to pause it just for a second, because this is such a critical moment, you guys. So here's what's going on. First of all, Timmy has not seen an ounce of wind throughout all of this. If you guys have been paying attention to the rear camera, he has done such a good job. Now he's in my draft. That's key detail number one. And number two, we have a potentially really dangerous situation on the left-hand side. Donnie is sprinting up my left-hand side. Now I have Blaine kind of slowing down on my right-hand side. I have a moment in time where I can shoot this gap, because if Donnie sprints at this angle right here and cuts across the road, I am officially boxed in with 100 meters to go, and I lose this race. So this forces my hand. I have to start my sprint early, but there's just not a whole lot left. I raced the last lap so poorly. I did 420 watts in the last 5 minutes of this race. I just don't have that pop left, and Timmy easily takes one down. Very well-deserved win. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.